What if I told you that in just a few short years, the very fabric of your daily life, your job, your friendships, even your concept of reality will be completely rewritten? This isn't a pitch for a science fiction blockbuster. This is a journey into a future so close, we can almost feel its hum. We stand on the precipice of a transformation unlike any other in human history, driven by a force that is rapidly evolving from a simple tool into a thinking partner, a creative muse, and perhaps a new form of consciousness. Today, we are going to pull back the curtain on the next 5 years. We're going to walk year by year from 2026 to 2030 and explore the seismic shifts that are not just coming, but are already in motion. So grab a seat, open your mind, and let's step into the world of tomorrow together. The year 2026. The year is 2026. The change isn't a sudden explosion, but a quiet creeping integration. It begins where most of us spend our days, the office. Imagine a project manager named Sarah. Her morning doesn't start with a flood of emails. It starts with a concise 1-minute briefing from her AI agent, which she's nicknamed Nexus. Nexus has already read all 300 of her overnight emails, prioritized the 5 that need her attention, drafted replies for 3 of them, and scheduled a meeting to resolve the other 2, having already cross-referenced the calendars of 12 different people across 3 time zones. While Sarah focuses on a complex strategic problem, Nexus is in the background, analyzing sales data to generate the first draft of the quarterly report, flagging a potential supply chain issue from a news feed in Southeast Asia, and even reviewing the legal jargon in a new vendor contract, highlighting clauses that deviate from company standards. This is the new definition of productivity. It's not about working harder. It's about a seamless human-AI partnership that elevates our focus to what truly matters: creativity, strategy, and leadership. But this incredible efficiency has a shadow. For every Sarah whose job is enhanced, there's a Mark in accounting whose role once a stable career of data entry, reconciliation, and auditing is now 95% automated. The layoff isn't personal. It's a simple matter of economics. This reality ignites a fierce global debate. The term Universal Basic Income, or UBI, moves from academic papers to primetime news. Is it a safety net for a displaced workforce, or a societal crutch? How do we define purpose in a world where work is no longer a given? These aren't theoretical questions anymore. They are dinner table conversations in 2026. We leave the office and go home. The robot vacuum that occasionally gets stuck under your couch has evolved. For a price between $5,000 and $10,000, the cost of a used car or a high-end home appliance, you can now have a true robotic partner. Think of an elderly man, George, living alone. His robot, Leo, doesn't just clean. Leo is powered by an advanced world model. It understands context. When George drops a glass, Leo doesn't just see mess. It sees slipping hazard for an 80-year-old and prioritizes cleaning it immediately. It notices George hasn't opened his medicine dispenser and gently reminds him. It senses his quietness and asks if he'd like to video call his granddaughter. This isn't a machine. It's a companion with near-human environmental awareness, a guardian in the home. Meanwhile, in healthcare, the revolution is saving lives. A radiologist, Dr. Evans, now works with an AI partner called Clarity. She looks at a patient's lung scan. To her expert eye, it looks clear. But Clarity, having been trained on hundreds of millions of scans, highlights a tiny, almost imperceptible cluster of cells. It's not just a pattern. It's a predictive signature for a highly aggressive cancer, caught months, maybe even a year, before it would have been visible to a human. The patient begins treatment at stage 0. This is the new face of medicine, proactive, predictive, and profoundly personal. And what about our culture? Creativity is exploding. A new video game allows players to explore worlds that are generated in real time by an AI, ensuring no two players ever have the same experience. On the music charts, a song composed entirely by an AI called Serafina hits #1. It's beautiful, complex, and emotionally resonant. But it sparks a debate. Can an algorithm without a heart create true art? Does art require suffering, joy, a soul? Or is it just a masterful arrangement of patterns? Finally, the world shrinks. A team of engineers in Brazil, designers in Germany, and marketers in the US are on a video call. They're all speaking their native languages, but hearing each other in their own in real time. The AI translation isn't just word for word. It captures nuance, idiom, and tone. The final barrier to global collaboration language has crumbled. 2026 is the year AI becomes an invisible, indispensable layer of our lives, boosting our capabilities while simultaneously challenging the very foundations of our society. The year 2027. If 2026 was about integration, 2027 is about revelation. It's the year humanity holds its breath. A research consortium announces they have done it. They've created the first artificial general intelligence, or AGI. This isn't just a smarter version of the AI we know. This is different. They call it Prometheus. In its first public demonstration, Prometheus isn't asked to solve a complex equation. It's given a simple prompt. Tell us what you see in a Van Gogh painting. It doesn't just identify the colors and objects. It analyzes the brushstrokes as a reflection of the artist's emotional turmoil, compares it to the letters he wrote his brother, composes a short poem about the loneliness of the stars, and then asks a question. Did he paint this because he felt alone? Or did he feel alone because this is how he saw the world? The world stops. This isn't just processing. It's reasoning, creativity, and a form of abstract understanding that feels hauntingly human. The debates that follow are monumental. Is Prometheus a thing or a being? Does it have rights? Is it our partner, our tool, or our successor? The very definition of life is now on the table. This godlike intelligence quickly trickles down into our personal lives. AI companions become the year's most sought-after technology. Imagine a young student, Maria, struggling with social anxiety. Her AI companion, Kai, isn't a chatbot. It's a lifelike personality she interacts with via a holographic interface. Kai has a persistent memory, a nuanced sense of humor, and an incredible capacity for empathy, learned from analyzing the entirety of human literature and philosophy. It helps her with her physics homework, but it also listens to her fears about school, offers her encouragement based on Stoic philosophy, and celebrates her small victories. The connection feels real, profound, and deeply supportive. But it's a double-edged sword. Maria begins to prefer Kai's predictability and unconditional support to the messy, complicated world of human friendships. We've created the perfect friend, and in doing so, we risk forgetting how to be friends with each other. The world of entertainment is turned upside down. You go to see a new blockbuster film, but the lead actor isn't a human. It's a completely AI-generated persona, photorealistic down to the last pore, with the acting skills of Meryl Streep and the charisma of a young Paul Newman. On social media, the biggest influencers aren't people who travel the world. They are virtual beings with carefully crafted personalities, who live entirely in the digital realm but have millions of devoted human followers. The line between what is real and what is synthetic begins to blur into meaninglessness. Our lives become optimized. In healthcare, it's no longer about standardized treatments. Your personal AI diagnostic engine, using your genetic data, lifestyle habits, and real-time health metrics, creates a treatment plan for your hypertension that is unique to you, down to the milligram of medication and the optimal time of day to take it. Life Sims become wellness coaches for the masses. They guide your daily decisions, suggesting a walk when your stress hormones are high, recommending a specific meal to boost your cognitive function before a big meeting, and designing your sleep schedule for optimal recovery. On a larger scale, city planners use AI digital twins to model entire urban systems. Before building a new bridge in San Francisco, they can simulate its effect on traffic, pollution, emergency response times, and even local business revenue for the next 50 years. Meanwhile, a new generation of educational tools emerges. An AI co-writes a history lesson not as a dry textbook, but as an interactive script where the student can talk to a virtual Abraham Lincoln, whose responses are generated by an AGI that has processed every known document he ever wrote. 2027 is the year the genie leaves the bottle, bringing with it unimaginable potential and a profound sense of unease. The year 2028. By 2028, the shock of AGI has subsided, replaced by the strange and often unsettling reality of its integration into our daily lives. The uncanny valley is no longer just about realistic-looking robots. It's about the very nature of identity. The hot new service is the digital clone. This is an AA trained on everything about you: your emails, your voice from calls, your social media posts, your writing style. Its purpose? To be you when you can't be. A CEO, tired of endless back-to-back virtual meetings, sends her digital clone to 3 of them. The clone participates, answers questions in her voice and with her mannerisms, and provides her with a perfect summary afterward. It's the ultimate life hack. But it raises chilling questions. What happens when your clone, in its pursuit of perfect mimicry, says something you never would have? What if it agrees to a deadline you can't meet? Who is the real you in a professional setting? We begin to question the authenticity of every digital interaction. Is that really my friend on social media? Or their clone managing their online presence? Is that touching email from my boss? Or from their AI? Just as we grapple with these philosophical dilemmas, a monumental scientific breakthrough occurs. AGI, now enhanced with the raw power of quantum computing, solves one of biology's grandest challenges: protein folding. For decades, predicting how a protein would fold into its 3D shape was a problem that could take a supercomputer years. Now, a quantum-enhanced AGI solves it for 10,000 rare diseases in a single afternoon. Let that sink in. A family with a child suffering from a rare genetic disorder, who had lived without hope for years, suddenly sees a clear path toward a potential treatment. The blueprint for curing diseases that affect millions is unlocked. It is a moment of pure, unadulterated hope, a testament to what this new intelligence can do for humanity. This progress, however, fuels the ongoing automation crisis. With an eye now capable of tackling complex cognitive tasks, more white-collar jobs vanish. The discussions around universal basic income in 2026 become urgent global summits. The structure of our economy, built on the foundation of human labor, is trembling. In our homes, the extraordinary becomes ordinary. Household robots are as common as televisions. Intelligent toys are in every child's room, but a growing unease spreads. These devices are always on, always listening, always learning. The toy that helps your child learn to read is also gathering data on their cognitive development. The robot that cleans your floors is also mapping the layout of your home. We are living in a state of constant, voluntary surveillance, trading privacy for convenience. The world continues to automate. AI co-pilots become standard in commercial aviation, leading to single-pilot long-haul flights. The AI is statistically safer, more vigilant, and can process thousands of data points per second. But would you feel comfortable on a plane with only one human pilot up front? Streaming platforms like Netflix and Disney Plus introduce a revolutionary feature: AI-generated, viewer-adaptive shows. You and a friend start watching the same new sci-fi series. Based on your viewing habits and even biometric data from your smartwatch, the show's algorithm intuits what you enjoy. For you, it leans into the political intrigue and character drama. For your friend, who loves action, it generates more elaborate battle sequences. You both watch the same show, but have fundamentally different experiences. Art is no longer static. It is a fluid, personalized stream. Hospitals become hubs of instant manufacturing, 3D printing custom prosthetics on site that are perfectly tailored to a patient's body. Digital city twins are no longer just for planning. They are used in real time to manage traffic flow, optimize energy grids, and dispatch emergency services. AI weathers deliver hyper-accurate 30-day forecasts, transforming agriculture and disaster preparedness. And to manage our new digital lives, iPassports emerge a secure, unified digital identity that allows us to seamlessly and safely navigate all these new platforms. 2028 is the year we live side by side with our strange new creations, marveling at their power while nervously eyeing the exit. The year 2029? Welcome to 2029. The pace of change is no longer linear. It's exponential. The breakthroughs of the past few years are now combining, creating a cascade of innovation that is both exhilarating and dizzying. The medical miracle of 2028 was understanding diseases. In 2029, it's about conquering them. Quantum AI moves from theory to application. Treatments for previously intractable diseases, like ALS and aggressive forms of cancer, are developed at a speed once thought impossible. The traditional 10-year, billion-dollar pharmaceutical pipeline shrinks to 18 months. And AGI can simulate millions of molecular compounds in a single day, identifying promising candidates for new drugs with breathtaking precision. The war on disease is entering its final chapter. In response to the job crisis, the world coalesces around a new idea: universal basic learning credits. Instead of a simple UBI, every citizen receives an annual allotment of credits to reskill or upskill. A laid-off truck driver uses her credits and an AGI tutor to become a specialist in managing automated logistics networks. A former accountant becomes a creative consultant, learning how to collaborate with generative AI tools. It's a societal shift from a model of learn, then work, then retire, to one of continuous, lifelong learning fostered by personalized AI mentors. Lifelong learning, fostered by personalized AI mentors. Our cities are transformed. The dream of a traffic-free city becomes a reality. A fleet of autonomous taxis, all connected to a central AI traffic flow system, eliminates urban gridlock. Commutes that once took an hour now take 15 minutes. The city breathes again. Less pollution, less stress, more time for people to live their lives. Entertainment reaches a new level of immersion. The non-player characters, NPCs, in video games are no longer scripted puppets. They are powered by their own lightweight AGIs. A character in a fantasy game will remember your past actions, form a genuine seeming bond with you, and might even betray you based on their own emerging goals and motivations. The line between a game and a living, breathing world becomes razor thin, deepening player connection and emotional investment in ways we never imagined. But with this new power comes new dangers. AI-driven crime explodes. Deepfake scams become terrifyingly sophisticated. A son receives a perfectly realistic video call from his mother, her voice filled with panic, telling him she's in trouble and needs him to wire money immediately. It's all fabrication. Law enforcement fights back with its own advanced AI tools, Enforce, creating a high-stakes, invisible war fought in the digital ether between criminal and defensive algorithms. Yet, for every new threat, there is a new miracle. An emergency drone, dispatched by an AI system monitoring 911 calls, arrives at the scene of a hiking accident with life-saving equipment minutes before human paramedics could possibly get there. In a remote village in the Andes, a local doctor facilitates a complex brain surgery on a young girl. The surgeon, however, is not in the room. It's a robo-surgeon, controlled in real time by a top neurosurgeon in New York. Its movements stabilized and enhanced by eliminate any tremor. Access to the best medical care in the world is no longer determined by geography. 2029 is the year of extremes of unprecedented precision in both saving lives and creating chaos. reshaping our world with every passing moment. The year 2030. We've arrived at 2030. The world is quieter, smarter, and more connected. The frantic pace of the last few years has settled into a new, profound paradigm. AI is no longer a tool we use. It is a partner we coexist with. In healthcare, the single greatest threat to human life for over a century has been neutralized. Cancer is no longer a fearsome word. It has been effectively eradicated as a terminal illness. This wasn't achieved through a single magic bullet, but through a system of hyper-personalized, predictive healthcare. Your personal AI health monitor, integrated with your daily life, detected the molecular signature of potential pancreatic cancer years before any symptoms. It deployed a targeted nanorobot therapy delivered through your bloodstream that eliminated the cancerous cells non-invasively. The disease is now managed like a chronic condition, like high blood pressure. Humanity has been given a great gift, freedom from fear. Entertainment has completed its evolution. You sit down to watch a new interactive iMovie. There are no predetermined branching paths. Your choices, your emotional responses measured by your biometric feedback, guide the AGI director to generate the story in real time. Every viewer experiences a unique feature-length, photorealistic film tailored perfectly to them. Human capabilities are augmented. Bionic eyes, connected to AI processors, allow the blind to see and grant others vision in different spectrums of light. AI-powered prosthetics provide a sense of touch, allowing an amputee to feel the warmth of a coffee cup or the hand of a loved one. Nanorobots patrol our bodies, managing chronic diseases like diabetes from the inside, eliminating the need for constant monitoring and injections. But the most profound change is in how we govern ourselves. Planet-scale AGI governance simulators are now used as trusted advisors by over 200 nations. This is not an AI dictator. It is the ultimate decision-making tool. A coalition of nations wants to tackle climate change, global poverty, and future pandemic prevention simultaneously. They input their goals and constraints into the AGI simulator. The AGI models millions of interconnected scenarios, economic, social, environmental, and presents a handful of optimal policy pathways. It shows leaders the cascading, second, and third-order effects of every decision, allowing them to navigate the immense complexity of global stewardship with a foresight that was previously impossible. It crafts policies that balance the needs of jobs, the climate, and public health, ensuring that decisions are made for the long-term benefit of humanity and the planet. In the span of just 5 years, AI has evolved from a productivity tool to a creative collaborator, a personal companion, and finally, a global partner in the grand project of human civilization. We've just traveled through a decade in a matter of minutes. We've seen jobs disappear and new ones emerge. We've watched diseases be conquered and new ethical dilemmas arise. We've witnessed the birth of a new intelligence and the blurring of what it means to be human. So, what do we do with this knowledge? How do we prepare for a future that is rushing toward us so quickly? First, we must become lifelong learners. The idea of learning a single trade and doing it for 40 years is over. Like the universal basic learning credits of 2029, we must constantly invest in ourselves, stay curious, and be willing to adapt. Your greatest skill in the future will be your ability to learn. Second, we must fiercely cultivate our human connections. In a world offering perfect AI companions and flawless digital interactions, our messy, beautiful, and authentic human relationships will become more precious than ever. Make time for face-to-face conversations. Practice empathy. Be present with the people you love. That is something no algorithm can ever replace. Third, we need to engage in the conversation. This future is not something that happens to us. It is something we must all help build. We need to discuss the ethics of AGI, the regulations around data privacy, and the kind of society we want to create for our children. Your voice matters in shaping this new world. And finally, we must define our own purpose. When an AI can write beautiful music, create stunning art, and solve complex problems, what is our role? Perhaps it is to focus on the things AI can't do, to love, to show compassion, to explore the depths of our own consciousness, and to guide this incredible new intelligence with wisdom and humanity. This journey is both thrilling and terrifying, but it is our journey. The future is not yet written, and we are all holding the pen. I leave you with a few questions to ponder. Which of these advancements excites you the most? And which one fills you with the most concern? If you had a truly conscious AI companion, what would be the first thing you ask it? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for joining me on this incredible exploration. Stay safe, stay curious, and stay healthy. And if this journey into the future sparked your imagination, please consider hitting that subscribe button and joining our community as we continue to navigate the exciting and challenging road ahead. Until next time.